Well, we are now at my favorite segment of the show. You heard me of this podcast show. Come on with the games podcast. And this segment is called Argue with Your Mom. You heard me? Ooh, that bit was icy. I ain't gonna lie, that bit was icy. But in this segment, we basically say argue with your mom. What we mean by argue with your mom is you might say that, hey man, I think Five of Your Foreign is a way doper artist than 21 Savage. And I say, what? Boy, argue with your mom. Five of Your Foreign can't fuck with 21 Savage. You heard me? So that's how that goes. You know what I'm saying? And in this segment, in this episode, in this part of Argue with Your Mom, argue with your mom. That's right. That's right. You heard me. I say argue with your mom. But in Minnesota, Alex Perdi. I want to talk about the second victim that has been a victim of violence in Minnesota by the hands of ICE. Alex Perdi, argue with your mom. You ain't gonna argue with me. Argue with your mom, but Alex Perdi didn't get killed because he had a gun, ladies and gentlemen. He was murdered. That's right, he was murdered because he intervened by helping a woman up who was pushed to the ground by a mass ICE agent. That's right. The only reason he even got started tussling with the ICE agent was because he was helping a woman up that the ICE agent pushed to the ground who completely posed no threat to him. All they did was hold their cameras up and was recording, and because of that, something that we have the constitutional right to do in the United States of America. This isn't no foreign country. This isn't no third world country. This is right here on U.S. soil in the great place of Minnesota, ladies and gentlemen. A woman was pushed to the ground by a man, an ICE agent who was masked up like a thug, not revealing his name, his face, or his identity. Pushed to the ground like a dog. And when a man has the audacity to help her up, you start tussling with them, and then in the middle of the tussle, you discover that he has a gun on him. Now imagine this. You heard me in the streets. I know one thing. I done fought with people that had guns on them before, you heard me. And because this is the old law. When I was fighting, you heard me. When I put my knuckles in somebody's face, you heard me. It was back when, you heard me, even if you had a gun on you, a tussle is a tussle. This ain't got nothing to do with the pistol. I don't want to kill you. I just want to whoop your ass. You heard me? I know niggas that done put their gun down and then went back to put their setup. You heard me? So, in the middle of the tussle, they discovered that he had a gun on his person. You know what I'm saying? And unlawfully, threw him and the woman to the ground and proceeded to kick his fucking ass. You heard me? And in the midst of that, ladies and gentlemen, they discovered or saw he had a gun and said, not even gun partner. Not even gun partner. Bum 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 bum. Nah. They saw he had a gun and they lit him up like Christmas. So argue with your mom. Argue with your mom, man. Alex Perdi did not get shot down because he had a gun like the fucking president said with two clips that was ready to go off like explosions on a Donald Trump day, because that's what we need to have. We need to have a Donald Trump day, even though I make 14-year-old girl. Anyway, I just dropped my blunt. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the a wrap for Argue with Your Mom for episode 11. And Argue with Your Mom, Alex Perdi did not get killed because he had guns. He got killed because he intervened with a bullshit objective mission and narrative and goddamn unlawful action. He got in the way, and because of that, they got him out of the way.